Hello and welcome to episode 54 of Unemployed to Unstoppable. I'll take you through things in a minute, but this could be the last episode of the series with the imminent release of Football Manager 2022 on the 9th of November. It's unlikely we're going to get through another full season, so what we might do is try and succeed in getting to the Premier League. This won't be the last episode. There'll be one episode to wrap up the journey and summarise all the clubs we were at, the transfers were made and trophies, etc. Just a wrap-up episode. But yeah, this will probably be the last matches we play as Newcastle. We're currently sat top of the league on goal difference, significant goal difference. Game-wise, since you were last with us, well, we've won them all. So it's a bit like playing cheat mode being Newcastle on here at the minute because their squad's so much better than everybody else's. So stay tuned. I'll take us to the first match, which is the crunch game away at Crystal Palace. And then the last day of the season is hopefully to clinch the title and go up as champions against Barnsley. So stay tuned and I'll click through to the first match. And welcome back. So here we go, starting lineup for this crucial game away at Crystal Palace, which is first versus second, essentially who's going to win the league. Got Pope in goals, Small and Sessegnon in the fullback positions with Mario and Van Drongelen in the centre defence. Lefay holds the holding midfielder role. Suarez and Bissouma in the middle of the park. Jones and Bakev playing on the wings with Tony Martinez, who's been in a bit better goal scoring form, playing up front. We'll get into this. We're going to stay attacking. We're going to carry on as we have been for the last 7-game winning streak and see if we can today secure the league. Yeah, it's been nothing short of a phenomenon. The players at Newcastle, the squad they've got, bear in mind that they still got 37 million in the transfer budget as well. I don't understand why they weren't just absolutely streaks ahead at the top of this league. I did look back at some of the fixtures they lost recently. Obviously, we beat them 3-1 when we were in charge of Millwall, which probably contributed to their manager getting let go and gave us this opportunity. But yeah, we might have gone up with Millwall. We were on a good rich run of form. If Newcastle had kept playing poorly, I think we probably could have finished above them. Whether we would have caught Crystal Palace and Swansea, not entirely sure, because with Millwall we had a good, we'd get a good 7-8 game run, and then we go on a bad run, and then we go on a good run, and it's very hard to stay consistent. Whereas this Newcastle team, it's full of internationals, full of absolute phenomenons. Tom Jones, again, one of their young players on the wing, 21-year-old, he's top scorer with 18 goals. Which is just outstanding. So I think we made the right move. I think we've given ourselves the best chance of going up to the Premier League. And if we had been playing another season, the transfer budget, stadium size, the fan base, the wage budget, it would have been the better proposition for staying up long term. So that's why we made the decision to move. I think we could have possibly done it at Millwall, but in keeping with what the vision was for the save, the opportunity in Newcastle was too big to turn down. As we're talking there, Martinez has put us 1-0 up. Again, crucial game. If we win this, we will go 3 points clear with, I think it's nearly 12 goals of goal difference above second place. If Swansea don't win, we win the league today on winning this game, I believe. Not entirely sure, but we'll see. Not sure how we missed that. Could have been a chance to go 2-0 up. Bit of a wasted opportunity. Martinez wasn't scoring too many goals. We had initially when we took over, he was in a deep line forward role. He was turning more provider than he was finisher. Since swapping him to advance forward and going into an attacking formation, he's been scoring a goal a game pretty much. So that change has been a positive one. The defence, just massively solid. I can't really think of a weak player, and I don't really know who I would target or where I would target when we go up. Obviously, it would be on players that are available, but I don't think there's an area that I would say we're weak in. Perhaps goalkeeper. I think he's 3-star. But again, Nick Pope's he's not a bad goalkeeper in real life or in Football Manager. So yeah, would have been a tough one. It would have been interesting to see where we'd gone. I don't think we'd have been challenging for the league in the first season or anything, but I certainly think there's enough about that squad initially to at least put in a mid-table finish, if not push for the bottom of the European slots. But again, different proposition in FM22. Obviously, Newcastle's recent takeovers, you'd be sat with a couple $100 million to spend in the transfer window, which is easily enough to do a huge squad transformation. Following the end of this save, the Unemployed to Unstoppable, we will be just concentrating on wrapping up the Rebuilding Vicenza save, which is also available on YouTube. We've just gone into the Serie A season after getting promoted out of Serie B. Again, that'll be the last season of that save as well, so we can wrap everything up and get prepared for starting a new Unemployed to Unstoppable, which again should start around about the 9th of November. Sessegnon breaking into the box then, had a shot but it's been cleared. Balls broke up to a pyre at the other end of the park, and Crystal Palace have equalised, so let's keep that champagne on ice. It might not go quite the way we thought it would. We do need to try and get some encouragement here, because that wasn't in the script. Let's get them back out there. Let's G them up a little bit. I think it's probably a time to take Jones off and get Kouame on. As Crystal Palace score just after half time, so they scored one just before half time, one just after, to completely bamboozle us. And again, we've gone from promoted as champions to potentially dropping into the playoffs, which is a nightmare scenario. As we get a corner ourselves, Lefebvre plays it into Van Drongelen to Kouane at the edge of the box, and he's got us an immediate response to get us back in the game. Substitution working out really well. Not enough to put us in front, but again, it's recovered us back to where I feel we should be. It's a fairly even game. I think on XG we're just edging it, but we need to make sure we can carry on and finish this job. I'm going to demand more of the team, because I think we should be winning this. And if you were them players and you were G'd up and you knew what this game meant, placing the Premier League as champions, you pull up your socks, you dig deep, and you give it everything you've got for this one game. Just going to take Bakayev off as well. Again, not having a spectacularly good game. We'll get Kaya on. And again, see if he can have the same impact on the other side that Kouame had. So now we're gone. 30 minutes to go. Need to get our noses in front and see if we can get a winner to cap off what has been a fantastic takeover at Newcastle. 7-game winning streak so far. If we can make it 8, then I think the job is all but done. But again, it's all crucial on trying to find one more goal. I'm just having a look at Bissouma. Again, he's the next one I'm looking at for potentially taking off. He has got a goal in him, but we might have a couple more attacking players on the bench that may be able to just impact us in a slightly more positive way. So we'll get Brennan Johnson on there, motivated off the bench, motivated by what's going on. 19 minutes to get on there and make himself a bit of a Geordie hero. So the game's quietened off a lot. We've not had many chances. We had a big flourish at the start of the second half. They got one right after half time. We equalised almost straight away, but since then it's gone into a very slow lack of chances. A small breaks down the left hand side, back to Suarez. He plays into the edge of the box, but Palace have cleared and got a chance to break with a pyre again. Our defence is standing in glue or something, because they're not moving at all well. We managed to clear the ball away, keep it at 2-2. Again, very good counter-attacking team, Palace. We've got time for one more shout. I'm going to demand more for the last 10 minutes of the game. See if we can just get this over the line. It's crucial. I don't want to go through another playoff scenario. Palace for the corner. Despodov's going to take it. We're going to need to get this clear. But yeah, it looked like header was destined for the net, but we managed to get it away. They're on the ascendancy here. Don't think we've got enough for another shout. I would shout a bit of encouragement if I could. It's not going to let me as we drift into the final 5 minutes. hopefully the Swansea game's gone in our favour, or we could find ourselves going up in second rather than first, which would be a bit of a disappointing end to the season. We've got 6 minutes of injury time to try and grasp a winner. It's petering out. This is a proper top two clash, this. It's been entertaining stuff. It's been a bit of a fan's dream for the neutral. You've been on edge if you're both sides. Both teams been in the lead at one point. Probably fancied themselves to go on and finish the job and get promoted. But it's not to be. Palace with a free kick out the back. Can we rob it off them and get a chance of our own? It's gone back to their keeper. They're playing it round short. We need them to go long so we can get a head on it. There it goes. But Palace have got the chance here. Oh, and they've got the goal. That is devastating. Disbelief as we drop down to second in the league. And we had a chance in that final minute, but it's gone out. Final whistle's gone. Palace have got the victory. And that is absolutely devastating. We'll have to see how that ends us up going into the final games. And yeah, a woeful performance to lose it in the final minute. Breaking our streak, putting us into second place. We could potentially drop down as far as third. Swansea win their game in hand. So yeah, stay tuned. I'll click through. It's looking like we might not be able to seal that top spot, but we will give it a go in the final game against Barnsley. So stay tuned and I'll get us ready for the next game. And welcome back to the second match and the final match of the season. At home to Barnsley with a chance for redemption for some of these players after what was a pretty monumental mess up in the second last game of the season. Starting lineup today then: Pope in goals, Small and Sessegnon at right and back and left back respectively. Fry and Mario centre defence. We've got Lefay in holding midfield role. Suarez and Basuma in middle of the park. Jones back high over Martinez leading the front line as we try to secure 3 points. Unfortunately, Swansea also won their game in hand, so that puts us third in the league, 3 points behind the two teams above us on the last day of the season. So even if we win, if they draw or win, we're in the playoffs, unfortunately, and we'll have to do the ever frustrating dance of the playoffs once again. But if that is the case, I'll tag on a third match on here and just show the highlights to see if we get up or not. I'm immediately going to try and fire the players up with a bit of encouragement to try and get an early goal and settle the side. Yeah, still in a bit of disbelief. It's such a great squad that have been so amazing, winning by probably 2 goals in nearly every game. And when we got the goal up on Palace, looked like we should have got the second. We went on to concede one just before half time and then one straight after half time. Did manage to get back in the game, but we went on to lose. So it just goes to show nothing can be taken for granted in this game, as something can always jump up and bite you. So Pope with a ball at the back, plays it side to Mario, into the middle of the park with Basuma, plays out wide to Small as we work our way up the field. Jones tries to play it forward into Martinez, but he's unsuccessful. Barnsley get a chance to make a counter, although Mario's picked it up. Sessegnon, and it's back with Pope again. So quite a long build up to this one. Fry into Suarez to Basuma. He breaks through the middle of the park with a good powerful run to the edge of the box. Out to Sessegnon. Plays it to Lefay at the edge of the box, and he's unfortunately unable to hit the target. So not too bad. Bit of a long build up to it, but it was a chance in our favour as Lefay swings in a corner. Martinez doesn't get on the end of it. Mario has a chance to recycle the ball. He's beat his man and delivered another one to Martinez. He's got his head on it this time, and that puts us 1-0 up. It'd be interesting to see if that does actually put us into second or not. We'll see in a second. It's going to be a tense wait to see if this result will be enough to get us back into a promotion spot. Lefay with a corner. Jones with a header that time, but it's just a whisker away. 20 minutes gone in the game. Absolutely on top. And this is kind of what we needed in that first game. We needed a flurry of chances. And again, in this game, we need to get that second goal. We need to kill the game off, so that even if they do get one back, we're not in any kind of trouble. We could have even accepted a draw in the last game. Our goal difference was so much better than everybody else's. But to lose all 3 points is really damaged us this close to the end of the season. I did think, is it my fault? It probably is a bit tactically, or the incorrect substitution, or not quite making the right shout at the right time. You can see Palace are winning at Wickham. That means we're at least second at best. Millwall making a charge as well. They can't catch us. Wickham have equalised at Palace. We need Wickham to do us a big favour. We need them to score another couple goals. Sessegnon with a throw in then to Bakayev. Into Basuma, breaks into the box. He gets the second goal. Puts us well and truly in the driving seat. But again, we're now reliant on results in other games. So we can only do our part and then hope that results go our way as we approach half-time. And we try and keep these players' morale up. It's going to be devastating if we come third after all this. The only thing that could have been worse would have been if we'd finished below Millwall after leaving them and Millwall had gone up. What it does mean though is, unfortunately, I would have liked to have seen Newcastle and Millwall go up, but if we hit the playoffs, that can't possibly happen. So half-time then. Thoroughly in the driving seat, playing much better than them. XG is reflecting that. We'll get them out for the second half. We'll try and get this over and done with as quickly as we can, so we can see whether we are or are not successful in getting to the Premier League. Basuma with the ball in the middle of the park, plays out wide to Sessegnon. Cuts inside his man. Lefay on the edge of the box, and there we go, 3-0 up. And it's almost got a bit of a feeling of too little too late. This is what had to happen in the last game. We didn't do it, and we might pay the ultimate price. So we'll just keep this momentum going. There's not too much point making too many substitutions. I could save people for anticipating the playoffs, but I've got everything crossed that we're not going to have to do that again. As he says that, Palace have gone 2-1 up, which means the best it's second again. Unless Wickham get 2 goals or Swansea have been beaten, we're finishing third. Wickham have got another goal back, so it's 2-2. I don't know. Can I make any substitutions for Wickham? That's the question. An hour gone in the game. Pope catches the ball from a free kick. Are we going to have a chance to break up for possibly a 4th goal? Pope sends it long. Martinez manages to get on the end of it. Breaks past his men, has a shot on target, but he was a bit too far out to really threaten anything. Yeah, so these final 30 minutes is going to be tight. It's going to be nervy. I don't know which way it's going to go. You're finding out just exactly the same as I am on whether we are or are not going to get promoted. As the ball's played over the top, Small takes a dreadful touch inside there. Again, what was he thinking there? Barnsley have got a goal back. Fortunately, and that's why you need to have more than one goal, is your players do have a capability of making that sort of mistake. Tom Jones not having a great game. I might have to bring him off and get Kouame on again. See if he can make the same impact he did the game before. As Sessegnon plays it to Bakayev, into Martinez, back to Basuma, Suarez, Martinez, and he restores the 3-goal lead. And again, that's the attacking intent we've got. I'm still going to make the change. Sunderland with a goal back at Millwall. Again, Millwall aren't in it. I think they've secured a playoff place. We will meet them in the playoffs at some point, I'm sure. Such is the way these things go. As we approach the final 15 minutes, still preying on Wickham getting a goal. I don't know their squad. I don't know who's going to leap up. I don't know who's going to be a hero. But yeah, it's the not knowing that's getting me a little bit here. Basuma for Johnson as we approach the final 10 minutes. I think this game's all but won. We've got the 3 points. it's just a case of all of you and me and everybody else crossing our fingers, toes, everything, and just hoping that someone has done us a favour. As Kouame has a chance there, he gets pushed out wide to Sessegnon. It comes back in again. Lefay, oh, it's highlights over. Millwall take the lead then. Sean Dunn, one of our former players. As it stands, did you see that there? As it stands, we are in second. West Brom have got a goal against Swansea. As long as Swansea don't get an equaliser, I think we'll get second place as Martinez slams in another one to make it 5-1. Perhaps news has filtered through to the ground and given us just that little bit of an extra boost. And that is the ideal scenario if we can get away with this. Crystal Palace have got another goal to cement their place at the top of the league. We just have to hope that Swansea don't get a goal back and that West Brom seal the victory. As the final whistle should be just about to go. And there we go. The game is over. 5-1 victory. Hat-trick for Martinez on the last day of the season. Did the work that we needed to do. And let's see what the league table says. And there we go. We've clinched promotion to the Premier League in second place. So not in first like we wanted. That game against Crystal Palace was what sorted us out and put us in second spot. Millwall, you can see they pushed really close as well. Finished on the same points as us. So that goal difference... And that's all it is goal difference has put us in second place and got us a place in the Premier League. So, successful season. I mean, it's tough when we left Millwall. Millwall were above Newcastle. So, all we've done is lost one game. We've won the other 8. And yeah, what a fantastic end to the season that was. What a fantastic last match it was. It was nervy. Initial budgets for the coming season is 1.5 million a week and a transfer budget of 18 million. Yeah, fantastic achievement. I'll just click us through to the end of season reward just to see. You can see who the player of the season was and everything that goes along with it. We'll also hopefully find out whether Millwall managed to win the playoffs, so stay tuned for one final part of the episode and I'll see you soon. But welcome back then for the end of season review. We'll have a look through who the new arrivals and such were. We weren't here at that point of the league with Newcastle, so we were only here for the last 9 or 10 games of the season, which, as you can see in the schedule, it was Middlesbrough we took over. 1-8, lost 1, and only just managed to come second on goal difference. So it was tight, it was competitive, and for those of you who were biting your fingernails through that final game, it was tense. So yeah, second in the league. Top scorer on 19 goals. FA Cup, we weren't there for that. Knocked out by Everton. Carabao Cup, again knocked out by Everton. So it's an unfortunate bit of a bogey team for them. Moments to remember then. 5-0 win against Sheffield Wednesday. I think that's before we took over. 4-0 win against Derby. That's when we were there. 4-0 win away at Nottingham Forest. Again, I think it was before our time. Finance-wise then, their revenue's gone down. It's not surprising because I think they came down out of the Premier League, so their annual revenue would have been lower than the season before. Yeah, we've gone up to 3.5 star club reputation. Lefay, surprisingly, the #1 shirt sale. I would have thought would be Martinez. As I've said previously, I normally think it's one of your strikers. How we lined up for the season, certainly from our time there, Maximan was gone. The rest of them, well, we didn't play that formation for a start, but I think most of them featured for us. Again, Ward wasn't there when we took over, so yeah, a bit of a surprise. Accolades then, nothing for me again. Lefay, player of the season. Mario, young player of the season. He's looked pretty good actually. Goal of the season, Tom Jones. Top scorer, Martinez. Most assists, Lefay, and most man of the matches, Martinez. And again, they've got some of the most in a season, so most assists in a season for Lefay. And most player of the match was Maximin. I'm not sure where he went. Burnley, bizarrely enough. And yeah, 26.5 million. That's probably why we had so much transfer funds when I took over. And yeah, so that was the end of season awards. what I'm doing, I'll just click through and we'll just see if Millwall went up, because I'm curious. I want to see if they do or don't. So stay tuned for those who want to find out. Welcome back for the final time this episode. As you can see on the screen, Swansea are the team that have won the playoffs, beating Stoke 1-0 in the playoff final. 2 send-ins off, 1 goal, tight affair. Millwall got knocked out by Stoke in extra time in the semi-finals and had a man sent off. So it was very, very close. There was a lot of tough teams in it. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see Millwall join us in the Premier League. But the positive is we've made it. So yeah, once again, thanks everyone for watching. It's probably the end of the season in terms of playing games. I will release a video in 2 days' time just to summarise the journey from that first day unemployed all the way through to where we are now in the Premier League. The highs, the lows, how we did, who we thought the best signings were, that sort of stuff. And yeah, so thanks everyone for watching, and I hopefully see you next time.